Definition of menstrual cycle is, it is a series of natural changes in the production of hormones and the structure of the uterus and the ovaries in the female reproductive system is called as menstrual cycle, and it makes pregnancy possible. Without menstrual cycle there is no pregnancy. And today in this lecture we are going to discuss about the menstrual cycle. Each females, they will get their menstrual cycle at the age of puberty. So what is the meaning of puberty? Puberty means there is a development of the secondary sexual characteristics is called as puberty. The age of puberty is 12 to 16 years. In that age, especially female girls, first time they will get menstrual cycle, that is called menarche. And at the age of above 45 years, they will stop their menstrual cycle, that is called menopause. Menarche is starting of menstrual cycle and menopause is ending of stoppage of menstrual cycle. And here menstrual cycle is contains 4 phases. The first phase is called as menstrual phase, second phase is called as proliferatory phase, third phase is called as ovulatory phase, and fourth phase is called as luteal phase or secretory phase. Let's we will discuss one by one. And this is the structure about the menstrual cycle changes. You have to remember here definition I told 3 changes. One is hormone production, and the second change in the ovaries, and third one is the uterus. 3 changes you have to remember. Means in this menstrual cycle there is a changes occurs in the ovary structure also, and and there is a changes in the uterus and also in the production of the hormones. These 3 things, menstrual cycle is depending upon these 3 things. And let us see one by one here. The first phase is called as menstrual phase. This menstrual phase, this is the 28-day cycle I am showing here, and this menstrual phase is 1 to 5 days period is called as menstrual phase. In this, what is happening in the menstrual phase? The bleeding will occur from the uterus to the external vagina, that is called as menstrual phase. About this menstrual phase we will discuss last, how they are getting this menstrual bleeding, And second phase is called as proliferatory phase. It is takes from the 6th day to 13th day. 6th day to after menstrual cycle. Mostly they will get 1 to 5 days menstruation they will get, and after 5th day, 6th day to 13th day, this middle of period phase is called as proliferatory phase. This proliferatory phase is also called as pre-ovulatory phase. Why it is a pre-ovulatory phase? Why? Because it is before the ovulation. And 14th day one speciality is there. And 14th day there is a releasing of the egg from the ovary. That is called ovulation. So what is the meaning of ovulation? There is a releasing of the egg from the ovaries is called as ovulation. Simple definition I am telling. On that day, maybe the female they got sexual contact. There is a highly possibility will be there for the pregnancy. This is the ovulation phase. And now we are discussing about the proliferatory phase. This proliferatory phase is also called as pre-ovulatory phase. Pre means before, just before the ovulation phase it is there. That's why it is a proliferatory phase or pre-ovulatory phase you can say. And what are the changes in this proliferatory phase in the uterine body and also in the ovaries and in the hormone production? It is very important. So in this proliferatory phase, proliferation means there is a development of the eggs in the ovaries. See, female, they are having 2 ovaries on each side. For each and every month, first they are developing the primary follicles, Graafian follicles, primary follicles you can say. These all are the changes in the ovaries. So in this ovary, first there is a development of the some follicles, more than 2, more than 4, like that they will start. So this primary follicles forming like a secondary follicles, and they are going like a mature follicles. How they are maturing? With the help of some hormones. What type of hormones is helping here? Folliculo-stimulating hormone, FSH hormone. From where this hormone is coming? See, in this diagram also I am showing here with the green color. This is the highly secretion of FSH hormone. Here I am showing here up to 13 days there is a highly secretion of the FSH hormone. So from where they are getting this FSH hormone? See, especially in our brain, there is a hypothalamus will be there. From the brain, there is a hypothalamus is there, and this hypothalamus is releasing one type of hormone that is called as GnRH hormone. Okay, this GnRH hormone is stimulating the pituitary gland. In our brain, we are having pituitary gland. Okay, GnRH hormone is coming from the hypothalamus. This hormone is stimulating anterior pituitary gland. Okay, this anterior pituitary gland is stimulated by GnRH hormone, and it is releasing two types of hormones. One is FSH hormone and one more is luteinizing hormone. Okay, two hormones you have to remember. One is FSH and one more is luteinizing hormone. Before 14 days, okay, there is a highly secretion of FSH. Okay, why? Because the full form of FSH is folliculo-stimulating hormone, means it has to develop the follicles. It has to stimulate the follicles to mature. That is the main function of FSH hormone before 14 days. Why? Because it is a 28 days cycle I told. 1 to 28 days. First 5 days it is a bleeding stage, means it is a menstrual cycle, menstrual stage. And coming to 6 to 13 days, this stage is called as proliferatory phase. Okay, and in this stage, okay, there is a releasing of the one type of hormone from the anterior pituitary, that is called FSH, folliculo-stimulating hormone. This hormone is, okay, mixing into the blood circulation and it is reaching to the ovary, and it is helped to develop the Graafian follicles into our female ovaries. Okay, with the help of FSH hormone, there is a, okay, development of the Graafian follicles in the female ovaries. That is the main function of FSH hormone. Initially, there is a development of more than 2 primary follicles. Okay, by using this FSH hormone is stimulating the ovary inside. There is a development of the Graafian follicles. This primary follicles, mostly starting time it is a more than 2, and later days 2 to 3 days maybe some Graafian follicles are disappeared due to some reasons. Okay, so then only dominated follicles only going to mature. Starting it is a more than 2, 4, 3 like that it will be there, and after maybe which one is the dominated Graafian follicle is, that is starting to mature with the help of this folliculo-stimulating hormone. Okay, highly secretion of folliculo-stimulating hormone, and this Graafian follicle is secondary follicle. This is a primary follicles, and dominated follicle is forming like a secondary follicle, and then this secondary follicle is forming like a mature follicles, and this mature follicle is ready to come out from the ovary. That is called as, okay, proliferatory phase. Okay, under the proliferatory phase, what I told, there is a development of the Graafian follicles. Okay, it is also called as follicular phase also, or proliferatory phase, or pre-ovulatory phase. So many names is there. What is happening in this phase? There is a releasing of the folliculo-stimulating hormone from the anterior pituitary by stimulated by GnRH hormone from the hypothalamus of the brain. Okay, so up to 13th day, there is a highly secretion. There is a highly secretion of this FSH. After this FSH secretion is no need for the ovary. Why? Because on the 14th day, the egg is coming from the ovary, already matured. The Graafian follicle is already matured and it is ready to release also. That is called ovulation. On 14th day, the egg is coming out from the ovary. So then no need this FSH hormone. Already the egg is matured. It is ready to coming out. So that's why what is happening here. Again from this follicles are developed already. This developed follicles is again releasing one more hormone, that is called estrogen. Okay, the developed, okay, Graafian follicles or mature follicles, secondary follicles are again releasing one more hormone by stimulated by folliculo-stimulating hormone, that is called estrogen. Don't confuse here. You see here from the brain, there is a hypothalamus is there. Hypothalamus is releasing GnRH. GnRH is stimulating the anterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary is releasing folliculo-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. This folliculo-stimulating hormone is second phase, mostly it is working day 6 to 13th days. Okay, it is helpful for to develop the Graafian follicles in the ovary. That is the main function of follicular stimulating hormone. Okay, from the Graafian follicles also one more hormone is releasing. That hormone is called as estrogen. From the anterior pituitary there is releasing of the FSH, and from the developed Graafian follicles one more hormone is releasing, that is called estrogen. Here small change you have to remember. This released estrogen, it is giving negative feedback to the brain. Okay, what type of negative feedback? Here already Graafian follicles are matured and ovulation also takes place, then no need to release the follicular stimulating hormone. That message the estrogen is sending to the brain. Again this brain is receiving that message from the estrogen hormone and it is stoppage to releasing the follicular stimulating hormone. Why? Because no need to release the follicular stimulating hormone. Why? Because already the eggs are matured, then no need to release this FSH hormone. That's why the brain is stopping to release the FSH by the day of 15 to 28 days. Okay, here 6 to 13th days there is a highly production of the FSH. By using of this FSH hormone, this Graafian follicles are developed and it is matured also. By this matured follicles also one more hormone is releasing, that is called estrogen. This estrogen is giving negative feedback to the brain to stop the secretion or production of the follicular stimulating hormone. That is called proliferatory phase. And next we will see about the ovulation phase on 14th day. Okay, so 13th day what I told, this estrogen is giving negative feedback to the brain and it is stopping the follicular stimulating hormone secretion. But this brain is releasing one more hormone to after stopping this releasing of FSH, but the brain is releasing one more hormone, that is called luteinizing hormone. See, LH. From 14th day there is a highly secretion of the luteinizing hormone, LH hormone. Before 14th day there is a FSH hormone is highly level, and from the 14th day to 28 days there is a highly secretion of the luteinizing hormone. Mostly on the 14th day you have to see there is a highly secretion of the luteinizing hormone. With the help of this luteinizing hormone from the ovary, this is the from the ovary there is a releasing of the egg. It is ruptured this cavity and it is coming out. The matured egg is coming out and it is ready for fertilization. That is happens in the ovulation. And next stage is called as secretory phase or luteal phase. This phase also you have to remember here. 15 to 28 days period is called as luteal phase. Why? Because the main function is corpus luteum. What is this corpus luteum? See here already we saw ovulation is done. The matured secondary oocyte is delivered from the ovary and this sac will be empty. After this sac is forming like a corpus luteum. Why? Because inside nothing is there. It is like forming like a corpus luteum. That's why the phase is called as luteal phase. Corpus luteum and luteal phase. What are the changes in the luteal phase? Here also from the corpus luteum there is the releasing of two types of hormones. One is progesterone and one more is estrogen. High level of progesterone, low level of estrogen. From where it is coming? Progesterone and estrogen from the corpus luteum. After ovulation 15 to 28 days cycle is called as luteal phase or secretory phase or post ovulatory phase. After the ovulation phase, that's why it is a post ovulatory phase. So what is happening in this post ovulatory phase? After releasing of the secondary oocyte from the ovary, this sac will be empty and it is forming like a corpus luteum. This corpus luteum also releasing the hormones, that is called progesterone. High level of progesterone, low level of estrogen it is releasing. Why it is releasing progesterone and estrogen? Why it is releasing means to prepare the uterus, especially endometrium, for the receive the fertilized egg inside. That is the main function of progesterone. So there is a excessive production of progesterone, there is a development, increase in the blood production. So this is the inner structure of the uterus, endometrium. Uterus is contains 3 layers. I think you know uterus is contains 3 layers. The first layer is called as perimetrium, inner layer is called as myometrium, middle layer is called as myometrium and inner layer is called as endometrium. So this is the structure of the endometrium I am drawing here. This endometrium has to increase in the blood circulation, okay, and it has to prepare to receive the fertilized egg for the implantation. That's why this corpus luteum is preparing the uterus for implantation. Where the implantation takes place? In the endometrium. This walls endometrium. Okay, that's why this this corpus luteum is releasing the progesterone, high level of progesterone. It has to prepare the endometrium, high blood circulation, okay, high hormones. Easily implantation will take place. At the same time, on the 14th day, ovulation was done, but they are not having any sexual contact. There is no fertilization. Okay, so what is happening? There is no fertilization, there is no implantation. Corpus luteum is helping for the implantation, but there is no fertilization. Okay, the sperm is not contacted with the egg. Failure of fertilization, that's why failure of implantation. So that's why this corpus luteum also disappointed. There is no implantation. So that's why what is happening here? The corpus luteum slowly it is decreasing the production of progesterone and estrogen. Why? Because no use to release the progesterone also. There is no fertilization. Okay, there is no implantation. So that's why corpus luteum also decreasing to produce the progesterone and estrogen. And after that it is forming like a corpus albicans and it will be dissolved and it will be disappeared. That is the function of corpus luteum. And here if implantation takes place, there is no menstrual cycle will come. Pregnancy will confirm. Why? Because in the endometrium, okay, the fertilized egg is impending and there is a development of the embryo and fetus. So that's why there is a stoppage of menstrual cycle. Okay, there is a confirm of pregnancy. But there is no fertilization, there is no implantation. So that's why what is happening? Up to 28 days, this is called as luteal phase. In this luteal phase, there is no fertilization, there is no implantation. And again you come to this stage, 1 to 5 days. Here, there is no implantation. That's why already egg is released. This type of egg means, okay, unfertilized egg and all blood vessels from the endometrium, because these all are the blood vessels of the endometrium. It is very active, it is waiting for the fertilized egg, but there is no fertilized egg. That's why this all endometrial wall also dissolved, disappeared and dissolved, damaged. Okay, along with this secondary oocyte, these all blood vessels are damaged, shedding down and it is flowing like a menstrual blood. Okay, this is the menstrual blood from 1st day to 5th day. What is there in the menstrual blood? There is a presence of endometrial layers, uterine layers, okay, shedding of endometrium and secondary oocyte, damaging of secondary oocyte, means dead egg also coming, okay, and waste products from the uterus also coming like a menstrual flow. That is called menstrual phase. 1 to 5 days there is a menstrual phase. Okay, this is about the menstrual cycle. In this menstrual cycle, 4 phases: menstrual phase, proliferatory phase, ovulatory phase and secretory phase. Menstrual phase, what I told, it takes place from date 1 to 5 days. Okay, and in this phase, shedding of the this endometrial layers and all blood vessels from the endometrium and secondary oocyte is coming like a menstrual flow. And second phase is called as proliferatory phase. In this proliferatory phase, from the brain, there is the hypothalamus is there. From the hypothalamus, there is a releasing of GnRH hormone and it is stimulated in the anterior pituitary gland. This anterior pituitary gland is stimulated by GnRH hormone and it is releasing 2 types of hormones. One is follicular stimulating hormone and one is luteinizing hormone. This follicular stimulating hormone is to help to develop the Graafian follicles in the ovaries. This FSH hormone is mainly acting upon the ovaries, okay, to develop the Graafian follicles. And coming to 13 to means 6 to 13th day, there is a development of the Graafian follicles with the help of FSH. And after this development of this Graafian follicles, again it is releasing one more hormone, that is estrogen. This estrogen is giving negative feedback for the brain to stop the releasing of follicular stimulating hormone. Why? Because already follicles are developed, matured. So from 13th day onwards, the brain is stoppage of production of FSH and it is start to release the luteinizing hormone. With the help of luteinizing hormone on 14th day, okay, this Graafian follicle is ruptured and there is a releasing of the matured egg from the ovary. That is called ovulation. In this stage, if they are starting sexual contact, there is a possibility for the pregnancy and fertilization. Okay, and next phase, secretory phase or luteal phase. 15 to 28 days after releasing the egg, this sac will be empty and it is forming like a corpus luteum. What is the main function of this corpus luteum? It is also releasing two types of hormones, highly releasing of progesterone, low releasing of the estrogen, means mostly it is releasing the progesterone. What is the main function of progesterone? This progesterone is preparing the endometrium. Endometrium means inner layer of the uterus. Okay, endometrium to receive the fertilized egg to develop the fetus inside. Okay, so there is a fertilization takes place. The fertilized egg is implanted in the endometrium and it is developed. Why? Because the corpus luteum is releasing the progesterone. Progesterone means it is a hormone to develop the endometrium blood circulation to prepare the implantation. Okay, but there is a fertilization not takes place. The corpus luteum is stoppaging the releasing of progesterone and estrogen and it is forming like a corpus albicans and it will be dissolved by 28 days. Okay, and from first day to fifth day, this all endometrial blood vessels and some waste products and released egg, everything is shedding out, destroying and it is forming like a blade and it is coming out from the uterus to the vagina. That is called menstrual phase, 1 to 5 days. Okay, this is about the menstrual cycle.